Hello, this is Ben from Elliott Wave. How's it going? Here's the weekly update on the Nasdaq and the S&P 500. As always, here on the channel, we're going to take a look at what's happening and what could be happening using the Elliott Wave theory. So before we get started, as always, this is not financial advice. Just share my own opinion using the Elliott Wave theory and see what could happen in the future in the markets. So here on the Nasdaq, we're going to stick to the previous count, or else I should say we're going to stick to the higher degree count that we've been tracking down for the several weeks behind of us, and you can see that in the previous Nasdaq updates on the channel. So we're saying wave 4 is here in place, and we are now in a bull market. Now, as always, as I've said in every update, is this possible? Yes, it is still possible. Is it likely to happen? I mean, the wave count does not suggest so. Fundamentals, well, I don't see that happening, really. I mean, what I see now, I do see something larger coming soon, but not of that degree. What could happen is that, and I've seen counts, basically, this was wave W, X, and Y. So wave 4 goes here, and we're having some sort of wave 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, ABC, and then further upside. So basically, this is not a 1, 2, 1, 2, because wave 4 is moved to this low, which is not the orthodox low. It's this one. And then we have a 5-wave move from there. So, that being said, we're going to track down what is happening on the lower time frames. Also, and actually, in addition to that, before we do so, wave 5 targets were actually, we can look for fib targets at equality. So let me zoom in. So equality of minor 1 with minor 5 stands at 17,000, which would be a bit above all-time high. Now we found support, as you can see here, on 61.8% of wave 5 against 1, which was also 15,800. So we found support there, and we seem to be continuing higher. Now, what I'm going to say in the lower time frame, which I'm going to show you in just a second, I see this as a 1, 2. I know it's a very small 2, but I don't see that as some sort of wave 4, because this is the largest retracement. I'm going to see that again in just a second. So we could see further upside. Maybe we get an ending diagonal, I don't know. Maybe we just extend higher. We could get all the way up to 18,000 actually before zooming lower. And at that point we could fall back to 15,000. But again, one wave at a time. For the time being, this looks impulsive. And we found support here, which is very important. Knowing that, obviously, we do have resistance here. So we'll see one way at a time. Now, from what I can tell by looking at the smaller time frames, obviously I had this potential wave 5 waves completed, here, because I thought we topped here. I actually closed my longs here that I opened at around 14,200. And then we just pulled back in a 3-wave move. So the fact that we pulled back here in 3 waves, it makes it bullish corrective, meaning that the trend is still to the upside. And I mean, I see 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4, 5, 3 again. So this could be 1, 2, again 1, 2, and then we could extend higher. Which, by looking at individual stocks within the Nasdaq, such as Nvidia, Google, Meta, Apple, we could see further upside. So it is possible. So obviously, if this is not 5 in place, which doesn't look like it, what could also happen is that this was 3, we get 3, and now we're soon due a flat correction. So this should be moved 1 degree lower. Everything 1 degree lower, meaning that this is my new wave 1, 2, either here or here already in place, and now we're resuming higher. Which one is it going to be? I don't know. It's well, but the fact that we did, again, as I said, found support here is very important, and now we seem to be resuming higher. Now, if we take a look at volume, which we can't on the cash market, but we can on the CFD. So as always, ignore the count. I just look at volume. So we moved higher with decreasing volume, which makes it obviously bullish, impulsive, and as we would expect it, we found increasing volume of the turning point, which is what we want to see. That's when people start closing shorts and building longs, which obviously can be seen in volume. Now, what is very important, what is very important is that on the move down, the mission move down, we didn't move lower with increasing volume. Increasing volume would have meant that people were closing their longs, therefore opening shorts position, so selling, and in addition to that, people could have gone short as well. So that makes it bullish, to be honest, because again, to have a trend establishing move, a strong move to the downside, I would expect it like something like this candle here or this to have increased volume, and we didn't, so we could expect further upside. And again, as you can see here, we're up 0.25% on the futures, and we can see that continuing soon. So before we take a look at the S&P, just wanted to give a shout out to the Discord, where you'll find me sharing updates as well as a whole community interacting with each other. So I highly recommend to join. It's completely free, and you find the link in the description of this video. And now on to the S&P. Again, I'm sticking to the same count that we have had for last week update, and it's a bit different here than on the Nasdaq, which could either be that I'm either wrong here or on the Nasdaq, and could actually be wrong in the Nasdaq rather than here, because again, I'm looking at a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, sideways 2, more of a sharp wave 4. Invalidation was not broken by, again, a few dollars, and then upside. Now, just like the Nasdaq, could this be part of a larger corrective wave? Yes, it could. Is it going to be? Nobody knows, really. So for the time being, again, I don't see why it should. It looks impulsive. It's moving as expected. So let's just stick to the count that we have for the time being. Now, if we zoom in, and let's go straight to the hourly. If we zoom in, and I want to count with you, this looks like we've had 5 waves. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 3, 4. Some sort of wave. 3, 4. Let's see. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 3, 4, 1, 2. Even a 5 here, because this could be an ugly ending diagonal. Let's see if wave 4 is shorter than 1. Yes, so it could be. 3, 4, sideways, so sideways 4, time consuming 4, sharp wave 2, so we have alternation, they look the same size, and now we could be moving higher into wave 5. Now, when I mentioned that, I could be wrong with the Nasdaq, because obviously, as you can see here, I see this as a completed wave 4, and now I see upside into wave 5, whereas on the Nasdaq, I was much more bullish, and I was seeing a completed wave 1 of a higher degree, and I was looking for much more upside targets, unless we got a ending diagonal. In that case, if we start to get overlapping waves, we could look at the ending diagonal possibility. So could both be correct at the same time? Yes. There's no rule that doesn't say so, but obviously they tend to move together. So it's better if, I'm not saying the count has to be the same, but at least they tend to move in the same direction, just with different degrees So not really much to add here on the S&P when it comes to the count. I like this. I like what I see. As per targets, if we take a look at the length of wave 3, we can see that it was shorter than wave 1. Therefore, in order to avoid wave consolidation, wave 5 must be shorter than 3. And this point here at 4,800 would be wave consolidation, which is where I would expect support. And also, as you can see here, not by coincidence, if you believe in coincidence, we would be very close to previous all-time high. So psychologically, what I'm thinking is we get up there, we do not break the lows, we move lower so that people are incentivized, I hope that's a word, to sell. So we move lower, we have a bunch of sellers, but the trend is still to the upside. We just have a larger correction, and at that point we can move higher. That's what I'm thinking. Could that happen? Yes. If it doesn't happen, I won't be surprised. So again, let's take a look at volume here as well. So let's go on to the CFDs, and again, very similar to the Nasdaq, which is not a surprise. We moved higher with decreasing volume, and the move down, the pullbacks where we didn't see volume spikes, which makes us think that it was indeed corrective. So, and then obviously, as you can see here, after every pullback, we had increasing volume to the upside. So people were keep on building longs. So again, bullish is here as well. You see the 2 different counts. That's basically what I see. Could I be wrong? Yes. That's why I would like to know in the comments down below what you think about both counts, and if you have a completely different counts, if you think one or the other is, or the alternate that I showed today, if you think which one could be the right one. And as always, if you enjoy the content, please leave a like. It really helps. And if you don't want to miss out on the next update, I would really appreciate it if you could hit the subscribe button, and I will see you on the next one.